Namaste and welcome to this yin yoga practice where you're going to walk away from your mat feeling like your spine has been re-energized. We're going to move the spine in a few different directions as well as concentrate a little on the shoulders and the hips. Guaranteed to feel fantastic afterwards. So let's begin by lying down on your mat. Start with the knees bent. Walk the feet out a little wider and let the hands rest on the lower belly, ensuring the elbows are grounded. And begin to take a long breath in so the belly expands under those soft palms. And as you exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine consciously. And do that just twice more, like you're exaggerating the breath. Inhale to expand the soft belly. Exhale to draw the navel back down. Once more. Now that action will continue. You'll feel the abdominal muscles moving with every breath. But I invite you just to step back a little from the participation. Instead, simply observe the breath. Observe your body breathing. And continue encouraging your mind down out of the thinking space and into the feeling of your body. So along with noticing the soft movement of the belly, become aware of any other sensations that may feel like you're starting to relax into this shape. It might just be softening the buttocks, feeling the lower back surrender down to the earth, or even releasing some holding, some tightness in the neck and shoulders. All happening while you focus your attention on your breath. And when those distracting thoughts pop up, then do notice them and let them pass by. Your attention is elsewhere right now. Your attention is on your body, on the sensations, the feeling of coming home to this space under your skin. And even though you'll move in a variety of positions through the practice, you'll be able to find your way back into this state of ease much more quickly and effortlessly throughout this practice. So you can walk those feet in a little more towards each other, and then let the right foot come in behind the left heel so that the right knee gently moves down towards the earth. Some people like to have a block or a cushion, a little bit of support underneath the knee or thigh, so you could always support yourself in that way. And either rest the hands wherever that's comfortable for you, or take the left hand down and hold on to the right foot. And be mindful of relaxing through the inner thighs and all around the knees, particularly on that right leg. Feel that space between the back teeth and the facial muscles, very, very soft. If you were looking for a little more depth in this asana, you could bring the left knee in towards the chest and maybe let the right hand just rest on that left knee, and this will intensify that stretch. So just note the quality of the breath if you take that option. become aware if you can still feel that easy, relaxed belly breathing. And if not, if the breath has become a little shallow or more up in the chest, then perhaps the body is signaling to you that you might be better off and receive more benefits by backing off a little. So you're only answering to yourself through this practice. And often the practice is so much more than the physical movements. The practice of letting go of that attachment to the ego, and an asana or a shape that you've taken with your body in the past may not be what you're needing right now, today. So the wisdom is being open to that and making those choices for your body and what it is that you're needing in this moment. So if you have lifted the left foot off the floor, you can replace that now and bring the right foot onto the floor as well. And we're simply switching sides here. So the left foot comes in behind the right heel and the knee relaxes down towards the floor. And no doubt, almost immediately, you'll notice some stronger sensations in the body. So rather than moving away or wanting to change something, perhaps really let your attention dive into that feeling and explore if perhaps those sensations begin to change in some way by staying tuned in to that spacious breath. As you feel that softness at the center here at the abdomen, allow that sense of ease to ripple down through to the hips, through the thighs, all around the knees. Feel yourself willingly relax the lower back down into the floor. And if you're seeking a little more depth here, you know you can bring the right knee in towards the chest. Relaxing the toes on both feet. And allow yourself to notice in these moments of stillness anywhere in the body that you tend to grip or hold tight when you come to a point of discomfort or you reach your edge in a pose. Let your task be to find more comfort within that discomfort. And often the first stage of that is just to let it be as it is. No attachments, no holding on. And it will all soon dissolve. All will fall away. All that no longer serves you, and you'll be left truly with the jewels deep within this practice. You can take your legs down into the middle of your mat now, so straightening them out and enjoy that sweet release. And just widen the hands out a little to the side so you've got room here now to move into your crescent moon or banana asana. So sliding the right leg out to the side as far as is comfortable, and they'll probably come off your mat. And then bring the left leg over to meet the right leg. You could let the legs rest beside each other, or a lot of people like to bring that left heel on top of the right ankle. And that works like a little bind there, so you don't have to keep holding the left leg in place. Just might like to reach down and touch the bony points of your hips and notice that they're level. It can be a tendency for that left hip to tilt upwards, so just move the flesh of the buttocks if you need to. And then switch off the effort through the legs, just relaxing now through the right leg and the left leg. Scanning your attention all the way up from the tips of the toes on both feet. If you wanted to add the upper body here into this deeper bend, you could simply drop that right shoulder down towards the feet some more, and even bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Or you could even take the arms overhead and just ensure that the shoulders are still touching down though. So relax the back of the arms, the back of the hands, down into the support of the earth. And feel this natural opening through the whole left side of the body. And every breath is moving through this open side. Receive and enjoy the fullness of every inhale. And become aware of each exhale. Slowly, slowly peeling away any of the hard layers throughout the body. Everything simply crumbling away to create more space. To release, bring the upper body slowly back to the center of your mat first of all. One limb at a time. Become aware of the attention to detail within your body as you move. Finding stillness as you come to center. And simply observe all that's present and showing up for you right now. Moving into the second side, sliding the left leg off to the side of the mat. followed by the right leg and positioning the leg beside or heel on top of ankle, ensuring the hips are level so that you can now relax the outer edges of the hips, all around the thighs, down the knees and through the legs, to the feet, to the toes. And if it's more depth that you're looking for now, you could slide that left shoulder over and down a little as you bring the ear to the shoulder. Maybe take the arms up. So finding, of course, a position where you can remain still and know that it's within this stillness that all the magic is unfolding. As you become aware of that soft space between the back teeth, I wonder if you could find that same softness all around the fingers, all around the toes, all around the right side of the body, all around the breaths. Whole body relaxing with this breath. And this breath. And even more with these last 3 breaths. You can count them down on the exhales. And making your way back to the middle of your mat. Moving the head, the shoulders and the arms. Before bringing the right leg back to the center, followed by the left in your own time. And pausing to enjoy. There's so much to feel and absorb here. As one breath at a time, you're unblocking those energetic lines. You may notice those wavelets of energy under the skin. And from your back, you can bend the knees and roll over onto your belly, coming into Sphinx pose. Some people like to have the support of a bolster underneath the chest or armpits in their Sphinx pose. So you could certainly do that, or a pillow or rolled up blanket. Arms can come out in front. And you can adjust your Sphinx pose with your elbows as far forward or back as you like. You could even bring the arms across and hold lightly, rest the hands lightly on the opposite elbows. As you find that position with the arms, go on and take your mind down to the lower half of your body and let the big toes turn in towards each other. So the legs are a little wider than if you were in an active Sphinx or even Cobra. And as the heels turn out to the side, you can feel the muscles already starting to switch off through the legs. And just like you've done so far in this practice, scanning the mind slowly through the body from the bottom up. And with this scan, every time your mind touches over a particular part of your body, there's a willingness to relax that part even more. Through the yin practice, as we switch off the muscular effort, we can bring this gentle stress into the connective tissues. The connective tissues house the meridian lines, these energetic lines. So not only are you going to walk away feeling freer physically, but also energetically. Notice how heavy your spine is beginning to feel. So relax a little more now down into the shoulder blades and shoulder points. You could keep the head centered, or it might even feel nice to let the head drop down towards the earth and receive that sweet stretch to the back of the neck. Continue to feel that freedom through the jaw and lips and all across the forehead. Perhaps you could smile, a soft smile, a smile of gratitude for this knowing that the importance of this practice and the time that you've gifted yourself is going to benefit you for future hours and possibly even days. Of course, if the mind becomes distracted, you could simplify all even more by just counting the breaths from 3 to 1 on the out breath. Taking just one more breath in. And releasing that exhale as you slowly release the body down to the earth. And you might like to make a pillow under the forehead, or rest on one cheek and bring the arms down alongside the body. Moments again to simply notice. Feel your whole body absorbing this inner radiance. As you prepare to come up, bringing the head to center, hands under the shoulders, and firm the belly here just a little to support the lower back as you come all the way up through hands and knees. Taking the knees wide and the The toes can stay curled under here. And have the left hand in front of you, even further out than your face if you're able to. And bring your right arm through that space and come down onto the right shoulder and down onto the right side of the head. So this left hand is going to support you. It might even help you draw that right arm through a little more. The toes are curled under so they can support the hips to reach back. So there shouldn't be any excess weight into the neck. And if you do feel like there's a very strong compression in that right shoulder and you've got any shoulder history, engage into the back of the right hand a little more and you'll feel those surrounding shoulder muscles switch on for that extra support. And feel the forehead relaxing along with the lips and jaw once more. And then pressing into that left hand to support you to come all the way up. Take that right arm forward, left forearm is coming across the mat. Again, a little further out in front if you're able to, so that when you bring your forehead down to the forearm, you've got lots of space for the chest to drop down to the earth. So here we're in our half melting heart. So the space between the shoulder blades on the back of the body are dropping down. The spine is heavy. Front and back body relaxed. Hips are drawing back. So we won't stay in these shoulder asanas as long as we have been in the other poses. But you've got these in your repertoire now anyway. So to support yourself here, slide the right hand back a little closer, press into the earth to come up. Finding child's pose here. And your choice with the arms, you might like to extend them out or bring them around alongside the legs, but do find them switching off. So have a little bend at least through the elbows, however you decide to position the arms. Just let those shoulders relax. Having the knees wide can be helpful to drop down into this space towards the floor. We'll return back to hands and knees and take the second side here. So knees wide, toes curled under. Ideally you want the knees and hips aligned. It can be a little tricky to find that though, unless you've got a mirror beside you. So right hand out in front and then left shoulder comes through down to the earth. And it's really important that the head is touching down as well. So you can bridge that gap between the head and shoulder and the floor if you need to with a support, a cushion, a blanket, but do have the head and shoulder resting on something. And notice what it is you need here, perhaps a little more engagement into the back of the hand. And as we're holding for time, of course, the exceptions there are if you need to make an adjustment to move deeper into the pose, perhaps sliding the left arm through a little bit more, or coming out of the pose. Coming out of the pose, perhaps re-entering or just coming out of the pose and finding something else. Child's pose will be a really nice option as well. Moving the spine in all these different directions, and right now experiencing that really yummy thoracic spine twist. So the ribs are rotating around, and you'll notice that you can actually breathe easier, breathe more fully and completely when you stretch up into the rib cage, across the chest. And press into that right hand now and come all the way back up and move into the half melting heart. So right forearm across, and the head is supported, dropping the chest down. Some people have a support under the chest there too, so you could always do that, of course. You know, you can pause me at any time and take what you need. Imagine that there's this willingness for the heart to open. Really allow the belly to be so soft now. Breaths are nice and long. And be really mindful now as you move your body, particularly if you've gone quite deep. Just take your time to come all the way up. And we'll get off our knees in this way as we find sleeping swans. So just come onto the hands to make that transition. Bring the right knee forward towards the right wrist and slide the left leg back. You'll be able to relax your shoulders here as you make that pillow under the forehead, or bring the head down towards the floor. Of course, you could have a bolster here to support you. So once you're on the center of that left extended leg, the hips will come into a naturally even position. And your mind will work like that scanning machine once more and move from the tips of the toes upward, and every time, remembering every time your mind scans over a particular part of the body. You don't need to know how it's happening, there's just a willingness to find a bit more softness. Willingness in the body, but of course a willingness in the mind to just be as you are. Find a contentment with where you are. And remember that the breath is constantly inviting you back into the present moment. Those thoughts are simply past or future stories, ideas, memories. Challenge yourself to stay attentive to 3 breaths at a time. Another 3 breaths. your body wanting to be free. Don't hold back. Leave everything here on the mat. Take just one last breath here, and you might like to let the exhale out through an open mouth and feel the whole body sighing. You can then help yourself to come up and find your way back into the hands and knees, and to just moving to the second side when you're ready. So left knee forward to left wrist, finding that length through the back leg and the center of the knee. No hurry to come down, just get a sense of the hips moving down towards the floor evenly. And supporting yourself as you need to. Notice what you need and answer that call. Become aware that no matter what you're feeling, what you experience, thoughts that occasionally enter your mind, you're wearing in the path back to the present. Every time you bring your attention to your breath, so it becomes easier and easier to return home to yourself. We're coming to the end of this practice, and as you feel yourself giving over to this feeling of ease in the stillness of your body and mind, you may notice that the exhales have naturally become a little longer than the inhales. You've surrendered to this slower pace of being, this willingness to be here now. From your sleeping swan, you may like to release that left leg and come onto your back, stretch it all out for Shavasana. Or you may like to even find child's pose. So taking what it is that you need now, Shavasana on your back, child's pose with the knees wide. And wherever and however you choose to finish this practice today. Can you savor for just a few more moments the simplicity that this stillness this inner silence gives you. For just a few more moments, could you completely savor it all? Today's busy world is often so much more yang energy than yin. So it is really important to be mindful of how it is that you transition from this practice back into your world. Knowing that deep within, on a cellular level, there has been an inner shift. And the wisdom and insights that you can take from this practice are ones that you can weave into daily life. So please feel free to stay a little longer. Perhaps you'd like to move your practice into a seated meditation. Making your way back into your day exactly when it feels right for you.